Yes, no, really good. Really good.
Excellent. Right, so let's talk about it. So, tomorrow evening, Queen's Hall, Narberth, opening act. What can we expect?
That's right. Yeah. So I'm traveling. I'm based down in Plymouth, but I'm traveling down back home really to Narberth to perform at the Queen's Hall tomorrow night. It's their monthly comedy night, so they've got myself. There's another three comedians on as well, and it's just a night of good fun and lots of laughter. Yeah, and I'm really looking forward to it. I'm your
Amazing.
opening act. I
Yeah.
think they've got there's a chap called Jack Campbell who's the MC. He's previously won English Comedian of the Year, so really good at what he does. There's another Welshman who I've not met yet, and I think that's the one of the interesting things with doing this job. You get to see new acts all the time. A chap called Chuck Morris, not to be confused with the
Oh
martial
man,
artist.
I was looking forward to Chuck Norris for a second there.
Chuck Morris, he's a
That's
Valley's
amazing.
boy, I believe. So really looking forward to seeing Chuck. And then the headliner is a lady from Bristol called Jessie Nixon, who's absolutely amazing. So it's gonna be a really good night, I think.
Incredible. And that's, this time tomorrow we're going to be down there,
It
and
will,
as
yeah.
you
So
say, a lot of
yeah,
laughs, right?
doors open 7 o'clock. I think the show starts at 8. There are tickets available, I think, from the Queen's Hall website. So if you haven't got any plans, come on down. It'd be great to see you. I've got some family and friends coming as well, and I've just had a message off my brother asking if I can smuggle him in. So so I think I might have to wear my dry robe, and just smuggle him in like I
Oh,
do into the pictures. That
mate,
until they won't
he'll
notice.
blend right in. We're in Pembrokeshire. We've all got a dry robe somewhere, right?
Absolutely, we'll get away with
Surely.
it.
Yeah, and in the Queen's Hall as well. Amazing venue, beautiful town as well. I mean, Pembrokeshire, beautiful place. I've said it once, I'll say it again. We're in a nice spot for it, and you've got some Pembrokeshire roots as well. And speaking of family, with your surname, quite a recognisable one as well at that.
That's right. Yeah. So I'm Pembrokeshire born and bred, um, as was my dad, Roger Arnold, and your listeners might know that name as he was one half of comedy duo Night and Day back in the day. A bit of a comedy double act with Brian Jobson, and they performed all over the county. Did a big um, campaign to really bring back Pembrokeshire when at the time it was going to be changed to Dyfed. So the fact that we're still Pembrokeshire, I think he's got a
Yeah,
part to play in that.
we have him to thank for that.
Yeah,
Nice.
absolutely. Well, a little part, maybe. And before that, in Don Wade and the Wayfarers and different bands and stuff like that. So it's nice to be following in his footsteps. Mum's still back in Milford Haven, so I've got to go and pick her up and take her to. I've got to drive from Plymouth back to Milford to go back to Narberth because I've got to pick Mum up to bring her.
At least the second trip's shorter than the first.
Well, that's true. It is quite. It takes about 4.5 hours to get home.
Yeah.
So yeah, no, I'm really looking forward to it. Last time I was at the Queen's Hall, it was such a great night, and I'm sure this time it will be again.
And great accolades from your dad. But back to yourself, you've been all over the place. You've been all over the country. You've been international. You've been on cruise ships. Tell us more, man.
Yeah, I think I'm really fortunate, Ross, in that I've had opportunity that I suppose my dad didn't really get. My dad, as far as his comedy career, he never really made it. He wanted to be famous more than anything else in the world, and he just didn't really have the opportunity to perform on cruise ships and things like that. The closest he got, actually, he did perform on the Irish ferry, going back and forth,
Oh yeah,
which is
yeah.
quite choppy. If you've ever been on it, it's quite a
Mm.
choppy trip. So he did that for a little bit. But yeah, I had the opportunity to go on my first cruise a couple of years ago, and from then I've been performing for Princess and P&O and Fred Olsen all over the world. So it's wonderful. And this year I've just started doing a lot of the Warner Leisure hotels as well, which is like a cruise gig but just on land. So it's good fun. Yeah, it has taken me
Like
all
a
over the world.
cruise, but yeah, not on a cruise ship.
Absolutely, it still eat as much as you want. It's just like an eating competition. That's all a cruise is, I think.
Yeah, what is a cruise if not an eating competition?
Absolutely. Yeah. Yeah.
Wow,
Definitely.
yeah, so awesome. I mean, anyone who's booked a ticket for tomorrow night, you're in for an absolute treat. Like we've got renowned comedians all over the UK converging on Narberth tomorrow. Only £12 a ticket as well. so nice and cheap. So get yourself down to the website, book your ticket. You can see your fine self, see plenty of others as well, and as you said earlier, come down and just have a laugh, and that's just the main thing, isn't it? Just have a good time.
I think so, Ross. I think there's so much going on in the world at the moment. I think just to be able to forget about it, forget all your troubles, come along and just have an evening of good old fashioned entertainment, I think is great for everyone. I think there's food available as well. So if you wanted food, you can go and get. I think Block and Barrel are doing the food for it, and the team of Queens. Yeah, the team of Queen's Hall are wonderful. They've got the friends of the Queen's Hall, the voluntary team there that run the tuck shop. So it's just such a lovely venue, and yeah, it's going to be a cracking night.
Well, I mean, anyone who's booked a ticket, pretty much Pembrokeshire itself is looking forward to it. Comedy night cannot go wrong. Well, thank you very much for the chat there, David. Maybe we'll catch up after the show as well. Maybe we'll have a little bit of a post-show report as well. But let's get some more tunes on the way for you here on